that day, there's no more tears. There's no more loved ones dying. There's no more debts to pay. There's no more hungry children. There's no more relational conflict. In that day, I want to tell you, don't wait till that day. You could sing a song of trust right now. I love looking at sports, especially after I've seen it. Like I remember back in '88 when the Dodgers won, Kirk Gibson hit that homer, and he limped across. Then he did the yes sign. I know what's going to happen. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Right now, we know who's going to win. As much as everything can rock us and shake us and make us move and make us worry, we can sing a song of trust because we know who's going to win. And look at this song. Look what he's saying here. He says, this is the song that they're going to sing in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. What does he mean, a strong city? L.A., I don't know. It's a strong city of suburbs. Smoggy city. I don't know how we can apply it today, but back then, Israel was going through a transition. They were moving from an agricultural economy to a merchant and a trade economy. And anytime nations go through that transition, they start building cities. And so a city came to represent success, security, and safety. If you were in a city, you were living good. It's like you're living in PV on the hill. We have a strong city. Nothing could stop us. We have a strong city. And look what he says. God makes salvation its walls and ramparts. The reason why people love or people desire to live in cities is because the cities were surrounded by walls of stone to protect against enemy attackers. And not only that, it says walls and ramparts. Kind of like, what's a rampart? The only rampart I know is the street down there in L.A. The rampart, you had the tall wall, the city wall, but then you had a lower wall called a rampart, and that's where you would place soldiers and watchmen, the archers and the catapults. I don't know, the picture that comes to my mind is like Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, where somebody's trying to attack this city, but you have this defense around the city. And so he's saying we have a strong city. We're not in an unwalled village. An unwalled village at that time was vulnerable to attack. They had no protection. And so he's saying that, yeah, even if you don't live in the strong city or in the walled city, you have God, the God who can save you like nobody else can, to be your wall and your rampart. That's where the real success lies. That's where the real security lies. That's where the real safety lies. And that's why you can sing a song of trust. And it says in verse 2, open the gates that the righteous nation may enter. Notice he doesn't say open the gates that the beautiful, good-looking people may enter. Open the gates that the rich people may enter. Open the gates that this ethnicity may enter or that ethnicity may enter. He says, open the gates that the righteous people may enter. Now that word righteous may seem like, oh, it's only for the people, the do-gooders, the people who are perfect, that have it all together, that have all their I's dotted and the T's crossed. Word righteous means to fulfill the requirements of a relationship. And I don't know about you, but constantly, I don't fulfill the requirements of all of my relationships. How can we get in this city? We can't fulfill the requirements. Here to tell you, as the righteous nation enters, I want you to picture in your mind that Jesus is in front of the righteous nation. You don't have it all together and you can't do everything perfectly and you always are trying to measure up. Just know that Jesus is your ticket into the gates of the city. And these gates, back in those days, they would judge people, hold court in the gates. And the criminals were always forced outside the gate. They didn't have access to the city. Jesus, because he was the perfect person, the one who lived a righteous life, who fulfilled every requirement of relationship to God and humanity. When you believe in Jesus, that he's in charge, that he's taking you into the city, then you can walk through. Open the gates, that the righteous nation may enter, the nation that keeps faith. Notice that bloodline is not the ticket in. Notice that money is not the ticket in. Notice that he doesn't even say denomination or culture or religion. He says faith. Trust is the ticket in. I'm singing a song of trust. You will keep. Now Isaiah's talking and making a direct address to God. You will keep in perfect peace. Now that word keep means to be a watchman or a security guard. I'm here to tell you, when you have God as your watchman, you don't need Brinks. You have God as your watchman. Everything about you is safe and secure. He says you will keep in perfect peace. Now, the Hebrews, when they thought about peace, it wasn't just, oh, we stopped fighting. Peace was not just the ceasing of conflict. Peace, that word, and you hear Hebrews today, Jewish people today, greet each other and say, shalom. Shalom means good welfare, prosperity, and success, completeness, and wholeness. And so he says, you will keep me. You will watch over me completely. See, perfect and peace are the same word, but because it's doubled up, it means complete or perfect peace. Nothing to worry about.